How's it going, guys? Got another land battle replay for you. Today will be Calamity on the Lizardmen up against Tim the Wilder on the Empire. For the Lizardmen, we have Mazdamundi, not on Zlak this time, but by his lonesome. He's got Banishment, Ruination of Cities, Apotheosis, Net, and that is it, plus his Sunburst Standard, giving him that plus 10 melee defense and missile resistance. For the rest of the army, we're going to have the Colossadon Hunters. You guys know how I feel about these guys. One of the best anti-large utility units you have in the game. Really, really good. Solid glass cannon unit. Bunch of Feral Cold Ones in the back line, along with some Skiing Skirmishers for your, skirmishing needs. Got Skiing Cohorts up front, just a full-on Skink army, essentially. And we also have two Bastillodon Solar Engines. I don't like using these guys. I haven't used them since Warhammer 2, really. Only a tiny bit in Warhammer 3. They're just kind of... They just didn't get scaled all that well with Warhammer 3, to me, in my opinion. But they can do some work. They can do some work against single entities slowly over time. It just takes a while. But that blinded effect is really, really good as well. You can minus, as you can see, 20 big stat debuff on the melee defense and melee attack, and then not only that, the accuracy as well. So if you're using it against a steam tank, it can do some solid work and reduce that its ability to fire upon your units. Huntsman up front with as a ranged. Front line is swordsmen and spears, along with some Knights of the Black Rose in the back line. I feel like you're going to be seeing a lot of those in most Empire gameplay. Jade Wizard in the back line with Earthblood, Blast, and Life Bloom. So just me spamming that Earthblood to proc that Life Bloom as well. Also have one Hawkland Long Rifle. Is it just the one? Yep. And then plus for some Free Company Militia. Let's hop right in. Already getting a steam tank shot into the Skiing Cohorts. And right off the bat, we're going to have the Solar Engine take a shot at. And not too shabby. Does a little bit of damage. Get another one as well. Down to 8600 HP. Yeah, a lot of that armor is going to mitigate quite a bit of that damage. But because they don't have great armor piercing on the missile. Only 108. Only 108 doesn't sound like too bad. But it is not great whenever you only have the one shot that takes 16 seconds to reload. So whenever you're up against a steam tank, you need that AP. But it did okay. And again, it provides that debuff as well. We're going to have the Huntsman shooting in at the Skiing Cohorts of Javelins. One of the best tactics here for the Empires, or rather for most players against the Lizardmen, is to get rid of those Javelins early. So because Javelins can put a lot of damage in very quickly. Right ahead, we're going to have the Knights of the Black Rose just run over these Skiing Cohorts. His Skinks are gone, already routing off. But, that's an easy task. Skinks don't have the great leadership. But yeah, they're just slowly whittling down these Master Engineers. Another Knights of the Black Rose charge in on these Skiing Cohorts, and they're routing gone. But we're going to see the Huntsmen start to pull back as the infantry is starting to get closer. Now the Lizardmen are... or rather the Solar Engines are now shooting at the long rifles, which is a fairly good pick because it's going to help mitigate that damage that the Colossadon Hunters are taking. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. But yes, they are. It's going to help mitigate some of that damage from the long rifles if they have that accuracy debuff. That Pigeon Bomb? Was that a Pigeon Bomb? I think, yeah, yes, because I forgot to go cover the Master Engineer. Master Engineer is on a steam tank and has Pigeon Bomb. Pigeon Bomb gets dropped on top of these Skiing Cohorts, hit them and the Colossadon Hunters. But luckily, they do have Apotheosis. It's just the issue is that they are now rampage from Toad Rage into Spears, which is not fantastic, though. Hopefully, they can get some hits in on that Master Engineer. Skiing Skirmishers and Javelins shooting in. Doing a little damage here and there to the Huntsmen and the Knights of the Black Rose. Colossadon Hunters, unfortunately, have been terror routed by that Master Engineer. Banishment going down, hitting both the Free Company Militia and the Knights of the Black Rose. Going to do okay. Feral Cold Ones get a rear charge in on these Huntsmen. Really nice. Hopefully they can get rid of those guys soon. But yes, the backline is compromised for the Empire side, and that's when things start collapsing for the Empire. But we do have Knights of the Black Rose still up, which can help defend against these Cold Ones. The issue is, where is the other Knights of the Black Rose? We have one right here, and one in the back line over here on the other King Skirmishers. So in return, the backline of the Lizardmen are also compromised. Though we have the Colossal Hunters coming over to help out with that engagement, and another Apotheosis on top of them, going to heal them up. They still have plenty of room to heal. Only 9 models, rather, only 1 model lost, so they have plenty of room to heal, which is really great for them. A bunch of shots from the Solar Engine still going in on these Hockland long rifles. Again, with that accuracy debuff, it is helping quite a bit. And though they are down to now 0 ammunition, or rather, that's King cohorts, excuse me. But yeah, they still have plenty of room to shoot, but they are now compromised, or they were compromised by the King cohorts, but now King cohorts have run off. Huntsmen shooting into these King skirmishers, though these King skirmishers do have, oh no, Chameleon King skirmishers resist, the regular ones do not. Knights of the Black Rose charge into these cohorts as well. Going to help that win that battle a little bit, though it's kind of a limp charge. It's going to take them a little while longer to take out those cohorts. These Colossal Hunters do come in and get a charge in on those Knights of the Black Rose, though they also do get an overcasted Earthblood, might mitigate some of that damage. For some reason, these guys are obstructed. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's because of the gold ones, but nonetheless, Mazdamundi just coming over here to help with the swordsman. Knights of the Black Rose have gotten into the King skirmishers orbit. They have actually been netted, but they're still engaged. Unfortunately, the Lizardman player hasn't pulled back out the skirmishers, unfortunately. These cold ones are sitting idly by. They need to come in and get on top of these huntsmen, get them to stop shooting. Balance of power is looking in favor of the Lizardmen, and to be fair, I think it's because of the Bastillodons that it's counting so much in the favor. Especially considering in terms of infantry, we have a lot more stable, durable infantry left for the Empire side. Another Apotheosis thrown on top of these Colossal Hunters, who are still battling out the Knights of the Black Rose, though are definitely whittling them down. Cold-blooded thrown on top of them as well to help mitigate that leadership bomb from the pigeon bombs. From being shot by the pigeon bombs. King skirmishers are still up and shooting. We do have these huntsmen still shooting up about. Banishment thrown down, but I think it fairly missed most of the infantry here for the Empire side. Another as Pharaoh Cold Ones finally come in and get a rear charge on these huntsmen, do a fantastic amount of damage. Oh my god, they are gone. Look at that. Jeez, that HP hit. Fantastic. That was a really good charge there by the Pharaoh Cold Ones. The Solar Engines are now targeting the Jade Wizard. Small target though. I'm not sure how well that's gonna do. But getting that Earthblood off the field would help, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be a good choice. So instead, Lizardman player switches over to the Knights of the Black Rose, and that's a pretty okay target there. They do have 120 armor, but any models you can knock off, the better, and you know, providing that leadership debuff as well. Steam Tank coming over to try to run through these King cohorts. Steam Tank does have that anti-infantry of 15, bonus first infantry of 15, so they can help a lot, plus that terror. And you know, as I said, Skinks do not have great leadership, down to 16 already, down to 5, and they're gonna go ahead and route in just a second here. Skinks need to come in, need to be brought back in. These Colossal Hunters need to stop chasing after these Knights of the Black Rose. They only have 6 models left. They need to come over and help try to deal with this Master Engineer or these other Knights of the Black Rose who are still a little bit more healthy, though the Bastillodons are doing solid work. Another solid Earthblood coming in on top of the Jade Wizard and the Master Engineer, keeping him topped up. Some Huntsmen have come back, doing some fairly solid damage in with what few models they have, 20 to be exact. Some infantry from the Lizardman side just chasing off the rest of these routed off Empire infantry. Master Engineer has finished off the Skinks as well. Now going after Mazdamundi, getting a cannon shot into him. Or rather, probably going after the King skirmishers, who have once again been terrified. Apotheosis are on top of Mazdamundi. We still have some King skirmishers here, but I'm going to guess they're going to get terror-routed as well. The thing is as well, even if the Bastillodons run out of ammo, they can fight in melee and they can hunt down this Master Engineer, who will not do great at fighting single entities. Colossal Hunters coming back finally. We do have a little bit of Empire stuff coming back. Another Pigeon Bomb. I hate the Pigeon Bomb so much. It's awesome, but God, it's I can stand how unlimited it is, the fact that it's unlimited. Nonetheless, King Skirmishers have been hit by that and taking a little bit of damage. They are a fairly more dispersed out unit, so a lot of their models won't take too many hits. Mazdamundi needs to run over to get the help of these Bastillons because he will take some direct cannon shots in melee, I believe, from the Master Engineer, which is not great. And Lord Mazdamundi, without his Sunburst of Waddle, would have pretty pitiful melee defense, but luckily he has that, keeping him from being taken out as easily as he would be because he's up to 42 melee defense now. King Skirmishers coming in, finishing off those Spearmen. We do have some Knights of the Black Rose still up, 17 models running down these skiing cohorts. And we have a fairly healthy unit of Spearmen back with the 101 models. They can do a little bit of work here, probably screen out some of the Clausen Hunters, so we've got to watch out. As an engineer is still causing havoc. 387 kills, 2158 value. This guy is an absolute menace. It's going to speed up a little bit as things start to get closer to each other. You know, another apotheosis on top of these Clausen Hunters, keeping them topped up. A lot of valuable, very valuable apotheosis. These Clausen Hunters are one of your most important units that you have left, and they're going to be the only things that are going to be able to deal with the Master Engineer. But same as well for the Empire. They have some really fantastic Earthbloods. They are very valuable, keeping these valuable units like the Master Engineer topped up. Yeah, even like, look at this. A very specialized AP anti-large unit like the Clausen Hunters are struggling to get onto this Master Engineer. One, it's just like flying units in general are kind of like haggard sometimes whenever they're attacking ground units and just attacking in general. As you can see, some of these models are just flying up for some reason. I guess, it's because Tim the Wilder is going over, or rather the Lizardmen player is going after the Knights of the Black Rose. But nonetheless, like sometimes they're just like super jank at attacking ground units, especially like single entities. So it can be pretty tough at times. Another Apotheosis thrown on top of them, gonna heal them up, though they are now surrounded by both the Steam Tank and the Knights of the Black Rose. And I think it's possible that they might fall here depending, though. It does look like for the infantry side, we do have, or rather units in general, we have a lot more for the Lizardmen, though of course most of it is skinks. Another pigeon bomb thrown in, hitting these skink skirmishers. Gonna chip them down a bit. Some more shots being thrown into the back of these spearmen, and of course these Bastillodons are gonna be beating down on these spearmen and possibly terrorizing them as well. Apotheosis thrown on top of Mazdamundi. Got to keep him topped up. And, you know, it's going to be kind of a wet noodle contest here. Neither of them are fantastic at fighting single entities in melee. But Lord Mazdamundi isn't exactly a fantastic fighter. Going to start speeding it up a little bit. Pterodon Riders, or rather the Clausen Hunters chasing off the Knights of the Black Rose. Will they come back and finish them off? Yes, they will. Should theoretically finish them off. Yeah, they only have 9 models left. Knights of the Black Rose are gone. Spearmen are just being slowed, unfortunately, down to 26 speed with those skiing skirmisher shots, unfortunately for them. So they're not going to be able to come over here and help out the esteemed Master Engineer, and that'll go to the Lizardmen. A very, very close game. Very, very tight game in general. Just, wow, that was so back and forth. I wasn't sure if... There was times where I thought, honestly, that the Lizardmen could lose it, but the 2 Bastillodons, even if they're, like, not, again, fantastic at fighting single entities as well as, just like the Lord Mazdamundi, there's still something that the Lizardmen have to get rid of, and they really don't have an answer to it once they lost their Hawkland long rifles. Maybe if, you know, obviously the Master Engineer could sit back and shoot at them, but he isn't able to. Oh, I guess also as the Huntsman. If the Huntsman didn't get run off, then they would have had a little bit of an answer to it, but they don't have great AP. They do have bonuses versus large and missiles. But they do have that volley of fire, considering how many of them there are. But the one thing the Lizardmen are great at doing is shutting down ranged with their massive amounts of bodies that they can throw at you. So Yeah, in that late game state, it was going to be tough to get rid of those Bastillodons. That doesn't mean it was impossible. It just means that it was going to be a really hard task. 2059 for Laird Mazdamundi. He did fantastic, no surprise there. And doesn't even counting the apotheoses as well, which were obviously, like I said, fantastic. 2337, 2037. Like if you imagine if he had lost those Colossal Hunters early on, maybe because he didn't get the apotheosis off in time, or whatever reason it may be, like a lot of those apotheoses were able to keep those very important models from being taken out. Because again, these are a low model count specialized hybrid unit, or rather specialized flying unit. They need those models, those few models that they have, to output the damage that they can really put out. So very well played there by Calamity. Really saw the Lizardmen play here. 1400 value here and 1700 value on the Soul Engine. Yeah, like I said, they can definitely do good work. I just don't like them as much as I did in Warhammer 2. But as you can see, in the hands of a solid player, they can do really, really well. And especially against like ranged specialized factions like the Empire, with that blinded debuff and just that ability to pick off models from your very important cav units, like the Empire really needs these Knights of the Black Rose to output work. If they're losing models from these blasts of solar energy, then they're not outputting as much damage as they could, not running down as, though obviously they don't need it as much whenever they're just running down skinks. Skinks have done okay. They're just doing skink things, cute little skinks. They did a good job. They're good boys, good fellas. 2700 of value by on the Master Engineer. He's just fantastic. 409 kills. I mean, 409 massacred skinks. And not only that, just like the cannonball shooting in, hitting Mazdamundi, hitting the Colossal Hunters, maybe even the Bastillodons. And then of course those pigeon bombs. You guys know how I felt with pigeon bombs, and they're so deadly. Yeah, just really good work there. Everything else, not a whole lot of value on the Huntsman. 800 here, 900 here. They obviously did pay for themselves. These two, unfortunately, did not. They got collapsed on fairly early by cold ones. Everything else did all right. Unfortunately, the Knights of the Black Rose had trouble paying for themselves, especially when you have so many skinks. You have to take out so many skinks to have them pay for themselves. Like 4 of them, practically, to pay for the Knights of the Black Rose. And it's really obviously troublesome whenever you have Colossal Hunters chasing you down as well. Long rifles unfortunately didn't last that long. 400 value, which is still okay for 9 kills. I mean, obviously they did damage to other things as well without killing them, but for how little they were around before they got collapsed on, 409 values, okay. But again, didn't pay for themselves. Solid match. I'm glad to finally cast a Tim DeWilder matchup. He's been playing a lot of land battle, and I always appreciate seeing Calamity play as well. A lot of the ODM people are fantastic at the game. Same with RTK. So I really appreciate being able to cast this replay. I'll catch you guys next time with another one. Bye bye.